Good morning, noon, and night, guys. My name is Miss Sunshine, and welcome back to Let's Play Silver Creek Falls Chapter 3. Now, yeah, I did have to go off and look up what to do about this code. But before I type in the code, remember when we were at the other place and we found the note, and it gave you the option to either come here and do the code yourself or go to the library. Well, I accidentally clicked the wrong one, and there was a book inside of the library with this code on it. So, hopefully this is it. And that's it. It was silver, good lord. It was a Civil Wars book. So, yeah. As if anyone was gonna guess that in a million years. But whatever, it's fine. I got the code. Let's just continue on. Pen accepted. Access granted was on Mr. L. Burke. Loading. Error detected. What the? Manual override requested. Nice. That should be it. Let's get back to that computer to download the file. Oh, okay, because I already did the manual override thing. Ah! This text appears to be on the screen. Meet me at the Looney Pines Lakeside Resort Escort. Well, what does that mean? Okay. Let's go meet this person at the lake. Oh, and once again, we magically arrived there. There's no cutscene or anything. You know what? Our car is magic. We are in a magical world. Of course we're in a magical world because there's magical murders going on, darn it. I don't know. Whatever. Lonely Pines Lakeside Resort. Why did I read that weirdly? Lake Waccamaw, Columbus County, North Carolina. Yeah, I read that weird the first time around. But whatever. Shush! Anyways, welcome to the Lonely Pines Lakeside Resort. How may I be of assistance to you? We're here to see Franklin Bolt. Ah, wonderful. Mr. Bolt has been expecting you. He is in the cigar room. The door on the left will lead you there. The door on the left, eh? Well, guess what? We're going to check these other doors. Ma'am, that is Willard's room. I know. I just want to be Snoopy. Ooh, jacuzzi. Why can't we go inside the jacuzzi and spa? You know what? Screw it. Yeah, I'll go see him. Yeah, we got some business to discuss, sir. But first, before I talk to you, I'm gonna go through your stuff. I have to. The art of golf. Oh, you're one of those people. Don't be one of those people. You are. Okay, whatever. Ah, Detective Fitzgerald, Colonel Davis, you're right on time. Right on time? You were expecting us? Of course. Actually, I was expecting you a lot sooner, but oh well. Do you know what we're here for? Yes, you're here to interrogate me, then arrest me. Wait, how do you know that? Detective, Colonel, please have a seat. I'll explain everything. This is highly irregular, Lee. He's unarmed and doesn't seem to be trying to escape. Escape? Why would I? It's been so much no, I was right. It's been so much effort getting you here. Getting us here? Yeah, I had to leave quite the trail of breadcrumbs just so you would investigate the matter and see everything for what it is and eventually make your way to me. Oh, gosh. I know from what it looks like I'm the big bad villain of the story, but perhaps if you could listen for a while, you may realize it's not all black and white. Villains rarely start as villains, Miss Fitzgerald. More often than not, they start out thinking that what they do is somehow improving the world, then along the way, bad decisions are made with the best of intentions, but often with the worst logic behind them. I realized one day that I was no longer the hero of the story. I realized that what was being done wasn't improving the world. Get to the point, Bolt. You see, it all started in the early 2000s. At the time, I was a young investment banker in Wall Street, making my first millions, and my younger brother had just finished college. I insisted he join me in New York, as I wanted to take him under my wing and teach him how to make money. Initially, he seemed interested, and then the Twin Towers were destroyed by 9/11, and all my brother could talk about was joining up and bringing the war to them. He joined the U.S. Army and was commissioned as a lieutenant. When the U.S. declared war on Iraq, my brother's unit was one of the first to go into action, the 3rd Ranger Battalion. Wait, that's my unit. Bolt, Bolt, Bolt. Is it all coming back to you, Colonel Davis? Your brother was Lieutenant Logan Bolt. So you know how the story goes then. Yes, it was 2004, right after Iraq. Oh good lord, insurgents killed those contractors in Falahu. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Lieutenant Bolt was second in command of a small platoon on a recon mission. His unit was spotted in ambush, but they fought hard and were able to break through the ambush and escape through a narrow back street. Once the surviving platoon members made it past the back street, Lieutenant Bolt noticed that the insurgents were hot on their trail. He stayed back and took advantage of the bottleneck in the street to hold off the insurgents. He successfully bought enough time for his platoon to escape, but he paid the ultimate price. Your brother was a true hero. I'm sorry I couldn't make the funeral. I know, you were the one that signed his letter of condolence. Anyway, as you can imagine, the news devastated me. Here I was, successful businessman in the toughest city in the world, making it big, and I thought I was untouchable. Then this happened, and it destroyed me. I flew to Wichita Falls to pick up my brother's body. From whom do I meet there? A young biochemist by the name of Lars Conway, whose brother served in the same unit as mine, and also shared in the same tragic fate. He spoke bitterly about how the U.S. government was choosing not to invest in his research, and how if he had things his way, this tragedy wouldn't have happened. Conway was of the belief that this research in biochemistry could lead to genetically enhanced super soldiers that could serve as the bulk of the infantry for more than grueling missions. Ooh, you're trying to turn people into super people. He believed that the government was all too happy to sacrifice the lives of its young soldiers to serve their own needs. Swayed by the tragedy of my brother's passing and by the fire in Conway's eyes, I was convinced to set up our own private corporation that would research a way to make these super soldiers so that no one else would have to know the grief that we knew. We created a pharmaceutical corporation, and Conway agreed to develop money-making pharmaceuticals to help generate income from the company. In turn, I would helm the company to success, and it would divert 30% of all revenue towards his research projects. It all started out rather well, and for the first 3 years we made a lot of money, and Conway was making leaps and bounds in his research. Then the financial crisis hit in 2008, and the company began losing money. Anyway, with the company in such dire straits, we had to look into selling shares to other corporations to stay alive. Unfortunately, we had no serious bids, and it looked like we were going to file for bankruptcy. Then Conway found an investor out of nowhere, a certain Matteo Spinola, the head of the Spinola family, and that's where the mafia gets involved. Oh, okay. Continue on. Exactly. So I took it as a sign to leave, and I sold all my shares to Matteo Spinola and resigned as CEO of Bolt Pharmaceuticals. But it doesn't end there, does it? If only it did. A year after operating under Spinola control, the company is yet again on the verge of bankruptcy, and I get a call from Conway pleading that I return as CEO to bring the company back, and in turn keep his research alive. So I went back. Why? You must remember that I created this company and it ran for 5 years. I knew a lot of the people that worked for me, and in this economic climate, they would be hard pressed to find other work. So I went back, but when I returned, I saw that the corporation had changed. Matteo Spinola had approved a certain type of research program that I had vehemently opposed during my tenure as CEO, and Conway was all too glad to cooperate. Initially, I wanted to blow the whistle, and I teamed up with one of Spinola's head fund managers to blow the lid off the entire operation, Connor Friedman. Unfortunately, Spinola's man got to him and killed him. I realized that Matteo Spinola was too powerful and knew too many influential people that no one would believe my claims about him. After all, why would I destroy the very company I birthed? Everyone would be convinced I was a fool and a madman. No one would believe me. I had to get a detective untainted by his tentacles, of corruption, good lord. And so I made a call to the higher commissioner and had him pass the case down to you guys. So were you involved with the disappearance of the college kids? No. Spinola and Conway are behind that too. They needed young and healthy test subjects to test the new serum on. Oh no! Those college students were the lab rats. Conway knew Rebecca Olson and her boyfriend used recreational drugs, so he swapped their supply with samples of his new serum that, oh my gosh, that he made to look like the drugs they were taking. That's terrible! Oh no! He knew she would share her drugs with her sorority and was observing at the time. Observing at the time. When the drugs had their adverse effect, he went in using a copy of her key that he had and planted evidence to make it look like a murder. Why wouldn't he target a group of football players instead? Wouldn't they be more similar to soldiers in terms of physical type? The serum works very poorly in conjunction with performance-enhancing drugs. Conway needed cleaner and healthier subjects. Since those girls were doing modeling work, he assumed that they generally ate healthy and exercised regularly. Look, you don't seem like a bad guy, but I can't help but suspect your motives for revealing all this. Also, if you were trying to feed us information, then explain the men in the hazmat suits that were intending to kill Detective Fitzgerald and Agent Valdez. Spinola's men. Ever since the immoral experimentation program began, Mateo Spinola placed armed guards on all the research laboratories. When I saw Detective Fitzgerald and Agent Valdez leave my company's HQ, I sent a false order to the guards to remove them for the night. Unfortunately, I didn't think they'd take so long in there and didn't account for the new morning guards. Wait, you saw us leave and come in? Didn't you wonder why no one stopped you? Besides, who do you think conveniently sent those letters to Conway knowing he was out on a speaking tour? I see. Take this flash drive. Inside are all the documented cases for all the illegal experiments that Conway has been running. There are videos, photos, the whole stinking lot. With all this, you'll be able to put Spinola and Conway behind bars and shut down the Bolt Pharmaceutical once and for all. What's in it for you? You're being very generous with all this information. I'm suspicious as to why you're so keen to betray your friend Conway. Yes, Conway and I were once friends, but now I see him for the monster he truly is. The fact that he would stoop to dealing with the likes of Spinola disgusts me. Colonel, a man reaches a point where he can no longer lie to himself, when he knows that he cannot tolerate the injustice he sees in his very eyes. That moment has come to me. If my brother were alive today, he would have agreed on this course of action. Why am I taking so long? I'm terribly sorry to interrupt you, Mr. Bolt, but Inspector Walsingham has arrived. Just in time. Let him in. Certainly, sir. Wait, is that Phil? It's Phil! Or Mark, or whatever his name is. Looks like I arrived just in time. Phil, what are you doing here? Phil? I thought you were Inspector Mark Waltenheimer, MI6. What? Sarah, I will explain everything in due time, but for now we have to get out of here. What are you talking about? Mr. Bolt, my contact in Munich, has just informed me that he and his men have successfully arrested Professor Lars as he was giving a talk at the Ludwig Maximilian University of Munich. Thank God, this madness will finally come to an end. Unfortunately, Mateo Spinola has caught wind of our plans and is sending men over to kill you as we speak. We must leave now. Okay then. Ferguson, ready my car. Actually, we can't leave from the front. Spinola's men will be coming in through there. There's a rear exit into the lakeside area right behind me. Excellent. Let's go. We'll be sitting ducks in such an open area. I say we dig in and fight from here. That won't be necessary. I've stationed 2 of my people outside. We'll be covered. 2 men? Is that it? Are you nuts? Spinola's gonna send at least 20 here to kill me. Please, don't underestimate my people. They'll have no problems making mincemeat out of the Spinola thugs. Besides, they brought along their big toys. I'll go outside and help your men fight them off. Thank you ever so much, Colonel. I know with your special abilities, 20 men hardly constitutes a challenge. For that reason, I would prefer to have you with us in case we encounter an unpleasant surprise. Unpleasant surprise? Huh. I sure do love how you British love to underestimate things. Oh, he's supposed to be British? Come on, let's go. Oh, Oh, I've been giving you an English accent. Darn it. I love how we're all so together. I'm playing as him now. Ha 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 ha. This is so effing cool. Ooh, stuff's about to go down, man. It's about to go down. Ooh, we are getting into some big stuff here. I'm debating if I should just like keep going or okay, we're far enough. Just keep your eyes peeled. My squad should be around soon. Okay, Phil or Mark or whatever your real name is, you have some explaining to do. Look, Sarah, I know this looks really bad, but just know that I had no choice. Also, you weren't supposed to be here. There was confusion as my FBI liaison was killed. His goofy associate took things into his own hands. What? You were working with Agent West this whole time? Also, don't talk about Valdez that way. Sorry, Sarah. It's just all gone so crazy. Look, all you need to know for now is that my real name is Mark Walton, and that I'm MI6, British intelligence. Yes, we've been following this case for a while, and when all this came up, we had to act quickly. I flew to Silver Creek Falls under the guise of a transfer Scotland Yard inspector to take a look at things before coordinating with the FBI and assembling my team. I'm sorry for deceiving you, Sarah. I just had to be very careful and couldn't risk being discovered. I'm happy to see that you're okay. Pardon my French, but what the heck are you Brits doing here? How does this involve you? I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to discuss that, as I suspected. What's going to happen to Franklin Bolt? I'll be taking him into custody. We needed him to testify against Camilla and Conway, among other things. Like what? Again, I'm not at liberty to discuss this. Well, guess what? I'm taking him into custody. He's related to the crimes at Silver Creek Falls. He's mine. I have more jurisdiction here than you do. I'm sorry, Sarah. This really should have never come to this. Ferguson? Oh, no! Ferguson, what is the meaning of this? Terribly sorry, sir. It's been a pleasure serving you, but my loyalty is first and foremost to my queen. Oh my gosh. What the heck is going on? Stand down, Fitzgerald. It's not worth it. Oh my goodness. This is getting weird. I see you started the party without me. Just in time, Sam. Did you two wrap everything up? It was easy after we finished killing them. We threw the bodies into the resort and set it on fire. Oh gosh! Good job? Oh my goodness. All good here. Any trouble? Not at all. Ferguson, please escort Mr. Bolton to the car. Right away, Captain. I'm so sorry, Sarah. I do hope to be able to explain everything to you one day. What's this one day bull crap? Why not explain it to me now? Forget you, sir. Forget you, Mark, or Phil, or whatever the heck your name is. Darn it. Come on, Lee. Let's get back to the car and pursue them. Let's leave it here, Sarah. What? I can't believe you. I'm going to head back to Very Sky. To Very Sky Galore. I appreciate some help, but if you'd like to go and pursue them, it's fine. I don't understand. Why didn't you do anything? I'm sick and tired of death and killing. Also, we're not in control of that situation. We were outmanned and outgunned. I guess. I'm going now. Have a safe trip back to Virginia, Detective. Lee, wait! Happy Very Sky. Sarah Fitzgerald apartment, Norfolk, Virginia. Thanks for driving me home. You okay? Not really. The whole thing left a really bad taste in my mouth. I know, I feel the same way. Thank you for helping me, Barry Sky, and I appreciate the kind words you said for her. Don't worry about it. You're a rare gem, Sarah. Your conviction of justice and truth makes you a truly incredible detective and police officer. You're just trying to make me feel better. You know, I don't mince my words. Thanks, Dan. I just wish I could have gone deeper and done more. Diving into the murky waters of the criminal world is not something one does casually. You never come out truly clean. and you really lose a piece of yourself as you enter. The deeper you go in, the more sullied things get, and before you know it, are swimming in a pool of dirt, brass, and blood, all in the name of justice. But it uncovered the truth. Isn't all of this sacrifice the price? But is it worth it? Look how many have perished in the pursuit of truth. And at the end, how much did we achieve? At the end, we were not but puppets at another man's bigger game. Phil, I mean Mark, within his, oh good lord, sorry, machinations and plans, I doubt we were more than pawns with bigger players like the High Commissioner and Frank Bolt, playing as Rook and Bishop. It's all a bit depressing, isn't it? My apologies. I didn't mean to discourage you. Always fight the truth and justice no matter what level of the law you are in. All I mean to say is that rising the ranks in law enforcement comes at a high personal cost. I see you had a lot of experience. Army police is different, but similar in so many ways. Here I thought I just Here I thought I lived out a peaceful life in a small town, but I guess I was wrong. Panama, Somalia, Afghanistan, Iraq, and now this. I'm so tired of it all. So, what's next for you? I think I'll go travel around the country. It's about time I see more of this beautiful country that so many of my compatriots died for. For your own safety, I'll keep my exact travel plans to myself. I can get behind that. Thanks. How about you? I'll take tomorrow off and head back into work next day. Keep doing my bit to keep this country safe. Maybe I'll hear from Mark one day. He did promise he'd explain everything to me one day. I wouldn't hold my breath for that. Haha. I'll get going now. Wait, what did Mark mean by special abilities? I'll do you a big favor by not telling you. Goodbye, Detective Fitzgerald. Goodbye, Colonel Davis. Oh, my goodness. Let's get inside my door. Yeah, I'm going. Are you flipping kidding me? That's the end of it? You cannot be serious. You cannot be serious. I had a feeling that was the end. No, okay, there's like so many questions. So many questions. I'm still confused on like the so-called thing that's following us because okay, in chapter 1 you see that there's like animal hair, like they kept finding pieces of like what's like burnt animal hair or whatever, but it wasn't like any animal that they've known. They couldn't tell if it was a wolf or a beaver or what the heck it was, and we have not seen that at all. There better be a chapter 4. Seriously, there's a lot of unanswered questions. I'm pretty sure you guys still have questions. What are your questions? Like, oh my goodness. I thought this was gonna go a certain way, but it didn't. It so didn't. And also, by the way, I do like the background. I am loving like the background here. It's so cool. I do like it. I just have to say that. It's cool. It's nice. Anyways, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let the credits play out because at the end of chapter 2, there was like this little skit, I guess, that happened. I don't know. I want to see if they have anything else to say. Hopefully they do. Oh my goodness, this is still crazy. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen. But the way that this series is going, like, it's gonna be such a shame if it literally just ended there. Oh my gosh. And please don't tell me that it literally ends there. There has to be a chapter 4. Oh, good. Okay, good. Stay tuned for more. I want to know when the next part is coming out. Oh, okay, cool. The Beaumont, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Ooh, who are you? Meet up with Agent Komarova? Who am I? See, I knew there was more. Ha! I am so glad I did not end this. I'm just gonna follow this path because I'm pretty sure this leads to Agent whoever that was. Sorry if I butcher names here. Where is Valdez? He's in the bathroom. He'll be back in a second. We can start without him. Professor Chan, I hope your flight was comfortable. That's the professor that we met when we were looking for Lars Conway. Oh, what does he have to do with this? It was fine. Thank you for flying me in business class. It's not a problem. Do you have Conway's files? Of course, here you go. Thank you, Winston. You did the right thing. Oksana, what will Moscow think of what you're doing? They'll understand. It's for the greater good. Hans, will Mark be okay with this? He'll understand. I know he will. We need to prepare for the invasion. Yes, we'll need every trick under our sleeve to protect us against them. Them? Oh my gosh! Number one, I knew that there was more. And number two, I just knew that this was going to be bigger. Oh my goodness. Unfortunately, I looked on Steam and it's only the first 3 chapters, so chapter 4 has not either it's still in the making or it just hasn't been released yet. So sadly, we're left on yet another cliffhanger. But yes, guys, please write in the comments of what you think so far, of what you think is going to happen next. Like, how does this play out so far for you guys? Like, what? I don't know. I'm so curious to figure out what's going on. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and hopefully I'll see you again in chapter 4. But until next time, bye guys!